From a black background, two teal canes crossing behind a pink atom flicker on in neon light. To the right, white words stack vertically, blind over matter. The words and logo fade to black. I had hoped to do the spring update outside. Minnesota has other plants. It has been still way too cold for my tropicals and succulents to be able to function outside like at all. I haven't even gotten anything out to adjust or anything like that at this point, but I'm going to show you what I do have in studio here. I have a few plants that are still downstairs in our kitchen. They're in a south-facing window. Not going to film those today, but you'll have to wait till the summer update for a few. It's not many. I think there's about 3 of them down there. So let's hop into it, and we'll start with the big guy, and that is this guy right in front of me, which is a Dracaena marginata. And if you've been following my wacko plant updates over the last several years, I got this guy for $6, and he was probably about, I don't know, maybe a foot tall when I got him, and he is now much taller than that. I just up potted him about a week ago or so into a 12-inch pot featuring a little sea turtle made of seashells. I got this guy out in San Diego at Coronado, and so he lives in there. And this plant is doing extremely well. Also, I apologize, you may hear my dog in the background. She's getting annoyed that I'm not hanging out with her. But there is a lot of new growth going on. We have kind of some droopy bottom leaves, and the top ones are finally kind of stuck straight, at least more than they were. Before I had repotted, there is some new growth at the top. I'm hoping that that stabilizes, and that this guy can adjust to being outside. In about a month, I want to maybe make a cut up top here so that we can get some branching going in this guy and get a real tree look. I don't want to do it too soon. We'll see how that shapes up with being outside this year. But yeah, that's the Dracaena marginata, and he's kind of my magnum opus. This is the big plant of my collection that I enjoy the most, because in the winter, when it's really sad and horrible for like 6 months in Minnesota, it's really cool that I can have a kind of de facto palm tree looking guy. Now, from winter being sad to a plant that makes me sad, we'll head down here, and this is a ZZ Raven that my wife and I actually bought together, and it's a bunch of little plants, and they all almost died on me this winter. It got really thin, leggy, and sad. It's looking a little bit better now. I don't really know what happened. Part of it is that these are all individual plants, and so it's not one big, unit with all the rhizomes and whatnot. So, and there's, the growth is thicker on the bottom here. I thought I had maybe noticed some new shoots, but I guess not. So we'll see what happens with this guy. If I can get him outside, maybe that'll help, things kind of get going. ZZs are known to be pretty hardy. I've had a weirdly rough time with my ZZs. I have 2 of them. But yeah, this year has been kind of weirdly tough on the old ZZ plants. So that's the Raven. We'll see what happens there. And we'll go to the other ZZ. That's the big guy here. And this one also really struggled, especially towards the end of winter. I don't know if it was because I did do some kind of furniture reshuffling, and that included moving like the grow lights and where these guys were positioned relative to the grow lights. So I don't really know what the whole overarching character arc of the ZZs was about. That was kind of crazy. And this guy I've had for quite a while. There's a couple of dead leaves we can just about. Oh man, this is a dead leaf, but the plant does not want to get rid of it. I guess I'll leave it for now. There is some new growth from this guy. As soon as I gave it fertilizer, it kind of perked up this spring. So that is the second ZZ, the bigger of the ZZs. He's probably in, I guess this is probably about a 10-inch plastic pot. He's doing pretty well in there. He liked being outside quite a bit last year, so we shall see what happens there. Let's see, we'll pivot down here. This is a Dieffenbachia, or a dumb cane is the common name. It's one of the only plants I have in Miracle-Gro. I hate Miracle-Gro. I think it holds way too much water. I just was desperate for soil for some repotting or other that I had done earlier this year. And so I had a little bit hanging out, and I really just wanted to get rid of it. And I figure this guy, seems to like moisture a little bit more than some of my other plants. He's not perfectly straight, I don't think. I think he's kind of leaning. But I figure as a means to just let him go, let him grow, and I'll maybe try to get him into something more well-draining and kind of get him resituated for the fall. Just let him go for the summer. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll end up repotting him before that if he decides he doesn't like this situation. But I found this pot at our local plant shop for like $7. And what's crazy is, I'm not going to be able to show you this very well with one hand, but there's a twisting mechanism on this saucer where he just twists it in and then kind of locks in place in the saucer. And then you twist and kind of pull it out to do bottom watering or whatever you're going to do. This big saucer, by the way, is full of water with some fertilizer in it because I've been doing some bottom watering for really most of the plants, actually. And so that's why the saucer is here. All right, next plant. We will aim past the ZZ. Where are you? You ahead more than I thought? Yes. Okay, so we have way back here. I'll kind of stand up and get myself over the other plants. This is a spider plant. This thing has gone feral. Kind of struggled through some of the winter, and as soon as it hit spring, and I tend to cut the little leaders that the babies hang off of because I do not need more spider plants. I literally have nowhere to put them. This thing is plenty happy though, and that's great. It's in a big 8-inch pot that will probably also go outside later this year. Later this month, hopefully, if we can get the weather to cooperate for more than 7 minutes at a time in the Midwest, that'd be cool. But yeah, this spider plant is huge. Got it from a friend I used to work with, and I have been able to keep it alive for several years since we've both moved to other, jobs and things. And so that's that guy. He's just straight growing like a madman. Okay, we'll go up next here to the shelf and take a look at what I have up here. These guys are going to stay, or at least my plan is that they're going to stay inside. First up is Ponytail Palm. I might have to take him outside. I just said that I wasn't going to do that, but he did so well outside last year, and really starting to get some good growth out of him. He might actually need a drink. Let's see, a finger in here. He's going to have to get repotted probably next year. They don't like to get repotted or messed with too often, and so I've really left him. He's been in this pot since I think since I got him, and I was in my apartment, and he did nothing for like 3 years, and I was kind of tempted to get rid of him at a couple points because I wasn't sure if I was giving him the right environment. But all of a sudden, we have quite the luscious Ponytail Palm on our hands, and so he has stayed. This is a west-facing window here, so he stayed in the window. Next, we have a Dracaena. This is a Janet Craig. No, it's not. It is something else. Maybe it is Janet Craig. I don't know. It's the big green-stemmed guys with the longer leaves. Dracaena Lisa, maybe? So yeah, this is a cutting that I took off of a plant that unfortunately didn't make it through the winter. And I took this cutting, rooted it out, and it's in probably a 6-inch blue pot with these cool little ridgy handly doodads, which is kind of fun. This one really is a Janet Craig. This is the last of the Janet Craig that froze to death and died. The cutting does have a tiny root, but I haven't really been able to get any usable, productive anything out of it, so I'm hoping this one will hang on, but I have no guarantees of such things. So that's kind of this whole little section, and the only other plants that I have in this room are over here on my table, and that's going to include a couple of guys. First is the snake plant that you see on the corner here. He's in an orange pot. He might go out front on our front step. I don't know where. He's done pretty well. He's getting pretty pot bound here in this orange pot, so we'll see if I can keep him in here or not. And then I'm not even going to journey too far over here because I don't want to trip over anything. Well, maybe I'll be okay. Ouch. We have a jade plant down here. There he is, a tree. And this is kind of my bonsai that I've been practicing on. I'm probably going to move him over to that west-facing window where the ponytail palm is, actually, just to get him some better light now that I've got the grow lights out of commission for the spring and summer months here. That way he gets some light. So that's the jade. That is also the end of what I have. So the lemon lime dracaena, I have a snake plant downstairs. That's the Laurantis. It's got the yellow variegation. I have one little ZZ Christmas cactus, and my wife has I think it's a money tree. So those are the ones that are downstairs. You'll see more of those in the other update, and I'm not going to journey to show you the corn plant either, because if I do, my dog will go insane that I've opened the door. That one is currently in an east-facing window on our stairs on a plant stand because I wanted to bring some decorations, some life there. So I'm excited for you to see the update on him probably in the summer, because I actually cut that corn plant. Basically the main trunk of that guy died. I don't really know why. I don't know if I overwatered or what the problem was. But I was able to save both of the branches, which are now their own plants that are properly rooted. So that's kind of the update on the plants for the spring. I was really hoping it would be I could get everything outside and show you everybody happy and being outside. Minnesota had, as I said, other plans with the weather. It's possible I might be able to get these guys outside this weekend. We've been highs in the 50s and 60s. Fahrenheit, and I'm hoping this weekend that we get into the 80s, which would mean the nights would finally be warm enough to keep everybody happy outside. Time will tell. Thanks for checking out this update on all of the things that grow. I have to go find my little Australian Shepherd because she is making very, very sad, plaintive, upset noises at me for not hanging out with her. So thanks for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. And take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we'll see you soon. Peace.